So first things first, I have very dry, acne-prone skin, obviously. So during the winter, it's a lot more harsh on my skin, and I find it so hard to find a routine where I can apply my makeup without it looking cakey or with the foundation clinging to my dry patches. And it really irks me when I apply my foundation and then I'm out at my classes, wherever, and then I see my reflection and I can literally see the product just clinging to my dry, flaky patches, and nothing irks me more than that. I mean, I'm still working on getting a perfect routine, but I'm pretty content with what I found so far. A little trick that I found that helps me out is when I combine my moisturizer with my foundation, and I haven't been doing this routinely, but I've been getting in the habit of it, and I see such a difference when I do that. I use the Aveeno Daily Nourishing Moisturizer. This does have an SPF of 30 in it. So what I'll do is I'll usually just put this on the back of my hand, just a little amount. Don't really need that much. And I have been using the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. Just this one. I have it in W12 Porcelain / Light Ivory because I am super pale right now. I'm actually loving this foundation. I'd say it's about medium coverage. I wouldn't say it's a full coverage, but it's definitely buildable, and that's what I like about it because I don't like to wear heavy cakey foundations on my day-to-day routine. This is what it'll look like on the back of my hand. And I just take my damp beauty blender and I just kind of mix it a little bit, slightly, so the moisturizer is getting all up in the foundation. And then I just apply. I'm going to be looking down here just because I have a mirror in front of me, and I just distribute it to my face before I blend it out or anything. Okay, so I just have like a thin layer on my face right now, and then I'm just gonna buff it in and blend it with the beauty blender. Okay, so this is about what one layer of the foundation does for my skin. Clearly it's not that full coverage the first time, so I still have leftover product, so I just keep distributing it until I feel like I have enough coverage on my face. And I really focus on the spots where I have either acne or acne scars because those are the areas that really need the coverage. Okay, so at this point, this is where I pretty much just let the foundation just kind of dry a little. However, there still are spots that need to be covered. Because of my acne-prone skin, it's very hard to cover them up, like I said. So I always have to go in with a concealer to cover the little dark, annoying parts of my skin. So I use the Hard Candy Glamoflauge Heavy Duty Concealer, and this is ultra light, like I said, because I'm very pale. Just use this on all my little imperfections, and I do use the beauty blender to blend out the concealer as well. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand. And the good thing about this, I've heard that this is comparable with the Kat Von D concealer. It's really full coverage. That's why I actually really love this, because it is such a full coverage concealer. So this is what it looks like after I finish with the concealer in those dark spots. It's still not perfect. In person it's still gonna be kind of noticeable that I have bumps on my face because they're there. So I also take the same concealer to apply under my eyes just to get rid of those dark circles. And I put a little bit on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, and my chin just to highlight it. And when I do this, I'm going in both directions, so I'm going from left to right and right to left. And then I just put a little bit right under my brows, right on the brow bone, just to highlight it. It also gets rid of the veins on my eyelids. I'm going to apply a little to my forehead, which I try not to apply that much only because my forehead is very sensitive with dry patches, so it'll be super noticeable, so I don't put that much product on it. And again, my nose is also very sensitive with the dry patches, so I have to be careful with that. It's pretty much the whole center part of my face, just the forehead, the nose, and the chin. I don't know what it is, it's always so flaky. So I'm super cautious when I'm applying the product on those parts of my face, just because obviously the more product you use, the more it's gonna cling to those dry patches. Okay, so now we're officially done with the concealer. So once this is all set on my face, I'm gonna go in with the bareMinerals Mineral Veil. This is the hydrating one. I've been using this one recently just because obviously I need the hydration in my face, I need the moisture. So that works really well with that. But before that I was just always using the regular translucent mineral powder. And honestly with this, a little goes a long way. You really don't need that much. So I just take a little bit of it, and I take this kabuki brush that I have and just tap it in there. And I distribute it just all over my face. For a contour, I actually use the FITme by Maybelline foundation. This is actually my shade in the summer when I'm tan or self-tan, but obviously it is not a match for right now where I'm ghostly pale. This works really well for me as a contour color, and this is in the shade 235. I just put a little bit of it on the back of my hand just like I do for pretty much everything else, but I really don't need that much product of this because it is very full coverage. And what I'll do is take this Eco Tools brush and I will tap that into the product, and I make, of course, the silly fishy face, and I just obviously apply it right to the hollows of my cheeks. So I just do it in like an upward motion. Okay, so after the cheeks are done, I'm just gonna put some of it on the outer corners of my forehead, I guess. So it's almost like I'm applying it in a triangular shape. And then I'm going to apply it to the sides of my nose, and I'm pinching the brush so I'm getting a smaller portion of the brush. And drag it up towards the eyebrow. And of course the same for the other side. And I'm just going to apply a little right here to my nose. And then across the center. So it gives that like button nose effect. And then I have whatever's left of the product that I'm just gonna bring right under my chin. And then I'm just gonna bring some down the neck so it's all blended. So the only thing I find a little bit difficult about contouring when you have acne the way I do, where it's right on the prime parts of your cheekbones, is that the contour typically brings out the bumps more and makes it more noticeable. I've just kind of grown a routine with using a liquid contour rather than a powder because for whatever reason I feel like the powder actually does bring it out more, and with liquid it's a lot less noticeable. But that's just what works for me. Everyone's different. For blush, I'm going to use my Hard Candy Living Doll in 125. They do have a very pinky tone, but they also have that highlight kind of tone in them. So it works really well as like a blush and a highlight. I'm just gonna swirl it in there. And this stuff is actually really pigmented, so use a very light hand when you use this. And I'm bringing it up towards the outer part of my face. So that's just gonna bring the color back into my face since I am very pale and I use a lot of concealer on my face, which can kind of wash out my face a little. So that just brings the life back into my cheeks. So this is it for my everyday foundation routine. Also, if you like the eye look that I have on right now, stay tuned. I'll link that down below in the description so you can see how I did that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you guys. Bye.